we're going to show how to set up the scoring blade on our saw. So the quick setup, if you're just doing cuts on one side of the blade or the other, is to set up the scoring blade to the outside edge of the tooth. And if we're changing blades, we technically need to change the scoring blade setup, because come in here, you can see this is a right blade and a left blade, and they're actually two separate blades separated by a shim. And so if we go to a thicker blade, we would need to shim the blades out more. If we would go to a thinner blade, we would need to take shims out and make the blades closer to each other. This front, you take the 5/16 nut driver and you put it on the shaft down here. This raises it up, and you want to have a piece of material so you know how high. And so you can see here, turning it clockwise raises the blade. And I want it to score the surface. So I've set the height so it can just barely score the surface here. And this one here moves the blade left or right, and that would basically center on the blade. So Cody, come in right on top there and see. You see how there's a gap here on this side? Mm-hmm. So the blade's not touching the material. So if I'm going to run it on this side, I can check this side and do the same thing. Now this blade is, so if I need to move it, see how that moves?
Yep.
So it looks like for this blade, and we would need to do some test cuts. For this blade, we may need to widen the shims between these two blades to make it work on both sides. Well, that's pretty close actually. And we'll do a test cut. So I've gotten visually close. I've got visual height. Now come around this side. And I'll show you here. This is 0 is off, 1 is on. So now the scoring blade is on. When I turn on the saw, both blades are running. If I don't want the scoring blade, I would turn it off, but I would have to lower the blade to turn it off also. So that's how we set up our scoring blade on our Felder sliding table saw.